Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Morning sun coming through the trees, and the green leaves shimmer in the gentle breeze. Songbirds sing to the honeybees, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. After the dazzle of day is done, and the moon makes love to the setting sun, the stars come twinkling one by one, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We sleep in dreams both deep and bright, sailing through the velvet night, refreshing the soul to the spirit's delight, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Yes, we are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Reverend John Riley. I have the joy of serving as your senior minister, and it's just a pleasure to be with you here today. Thank you for being here, for all of you who are here in person. And for those of you who are online on our live stream or watching during the week, know that you're in our hearts and in our prayers, and that you are all in the right place at the right time right now. If you are new to Unity, what we want you to know is that Unity is a global spiritual community welcoming people from all walks of life. People who are seeking a deeper experience of spirit, a greater sense of health, wholeness, and abundance. People looking for spiritual growth, transformation, and to do life better. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Ron E. Beck on drums, Russell Norman on piano, Deborah Winters is our soloist, and Rusty Gaylord is joining me on the platform. And so we'll begin our service with our opening song. I'll invite you all to stand as Deborah leads us.
We love this one. It makes you feel good. I love myself the way I There's nothing I need to change. We got the wrong lyrics up. Maybe we should just do this little light. I mean, because this little light of mine is all ready to go. And so, you know, it's Sunday morning. Did you have your Wheaties? Here we go. Thanks, Felix. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let's do that again. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, now everywhere I go, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light, oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Start dancing in the aisles. This light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Now you get to stretch. Let it shine. Come on, blow it out your ears. Let it shine. Let it shine. And now we're going to do our other favorite song. I love myself the way I am. Isn't that the truth? Come on, everybody. We're going to really have fun singing this one today. And when we leave here, everybody is going to know we're Unity people, right? Here you go. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. Corny but true, right? I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love myself the way I am, and I still want to grow. The change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. Yes, I love myself just the way I am. Whoa, I love myself just the way I am. Just the way I
good to see you all here in person and in line. Welcome to all of you. My name is Rusty Gaylord. I am your platform leader for today, and Unity is part of a worldwide movement that teaches 5 principles that guide us in our spiritual journey and that help us to love ourselves just the way we are. The first principle is God is, that there is one power and one presence active in the universe, and it's God, the good omnipotent, or creativity, or love, or abundance, or universal intelligence, or whatever name that resonates with you, but it is that one power and presence that is always here around us. The second principle is I am, that power is not out there somewhere, it is here inside of each one of us. And when we connect with that, that is what allows us to let that light shine out in the world. The third principle is the law of mind action, that our thoughts in mind produce after their kind. We have the ability to shape our world through our thinking. Our fourth principle is the practice of prayer and meditation, which helps us to hold those right thoughts in mind, because and it allows us to connect with that creative and constructive power of God that is inside each one of us. And finally, the fifth principle is daily practice, because as we practice these tools every day, we express more and more of the divine inside of each one of us, and life gets better. It is through the practice of these 5 principles that we live into our vision statement, which is on the screen, and I invite you all to say together with me. Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all, and so it is.
When I look in your eyes, I see the beloved looking back at me. When I stand next to you, I can feel the beloved in you. You are my soul, you are my inspiration. With you in my heart, I am never alone. We are one. There is no separation. When I rest in you, I'm home. When I touch your heart, I feel the beloved touching me. And when I open my heart, I open to the beloved in you, to the beloved in you, to the beloved in you.
And now a word reading from the Daily Word. Today's daily word is grace. I will read the affirmation first and then invite you to say it together with me. With joy and gratitude, I welcome grace. All together? With joy and gratitude, I welcome grace. The guiding, healing, harmonizing presence and power of God is everywhere present. Divine grace is mine whenever I say yes to this presence within me. I release any thought that I am unworthy of grace. Nothing I could do or fail to do would ever disturb my divine identity. Grace need not be earned, nor can it be bought. It is inexhaustible. No matter how much comes my way, I can relax in complete trust that even more will be available as I need it. Grace doesn't happen to me. It expresses through me. Just as I have been blessed to receive grace when I have needed it, I am honored to be the conduit through which it flows to someone else, blessing them in a time of need. The scripture reading is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 15. Yes, everything is for your sake, so that grace, as it extends to more and more people, may increase thanksgiving to the glory of God.
Hold me now under your wings. Surround me within your mighty hand. When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm. Spirit, you are light over the dark, and I will be still and know you are God. I will be still and know you are God. Find my rest within my soul. Feel the peace in quietness and trust. When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm. Spirit, you are light over the dark, and I will be still and know you are God. I will be still and know you are God. You are peace to a restless soul. You are peace where my thoughts wage war. You are peace to an anxious heart. Oh, that's what you are, and that's who you are. You are peace when my fear takes hold, and you are peace when I feel enclosed. Peace when I lose control. Oh, that's who you are, and that's who you are. When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm. Spirit, you are light over the dark, and I will be still and know you are God. Yes, I will be still. I will be still and know you are God.
With joy and gratitude, I welcome grace. With joy and gratitude, I welcome grace. Would you affirm that with me together? With joy and gratitude, I welcome grace. And today we continue our journey of developing our spiritual mindset, that mindset that allows grace to express in our lives, that allows that wonderful experience of wholeness and love, that warmth, that comfort that comes with that energy of grace which is always present. We are in our fourth talk on developing a mindset, a spiritual mindset, using the masterful teacher's beautiful prose poem called the Beatitudes. And what I know for certain, beyond anything else, is that when you adopt and develop your spiritual mindset, your life is transformed. Yes? All right, we're on the same page. So today's first beatitude is, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Blessed are the pure in heart. What emotion does that bring up when you hear those words? Blessed are the pure in heart. I hear you whispering them. I know you're not cold and dead out there. That's good. That's a good sign. What emotion does that bring up? Blessed are the pure in heart. Love. Beautiful. What else? Innocence. Peace. Confidence? One more time. Optimism. Thank you for bearing with me, Rick. Acceptance. Babies. That's a beautiful image. Babies. Now, when you think about this put together, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. What thoughts come to mind? What ideas, what thoughts come to mind for you? What do I need to do? What do I need to be blessed of pure in heart? Anybody? Be more like my dog. That's probably, I'm going to end it right there. That's got to be the best answer ever. You see, because my answers have always been, oh, I've got to be perfect, pure. I'm not always pure. I'm 100% pure John Riley. That's about as best as it gets. But sometimes we have this idea that I have to be transcended already. Anybody else feel that way or think that way sometimes? Just sometimes. Yeah, sometimes the words kind of sound like, blessed are the pure in heart. You better bring it now, buddy. But that's really not what this is about. Because this is not about being a saint. This is not about being saintly. Saint John Riley. Yeah, no, that's not going to flow. Yeah, okay, thank you. Your eminence, I'll go with that. It's not about being a saint 24/7. Right? It's not about being that perfect pureness all the time. It's something to strive for and to work at and to develop within our lives. So rather than being a saint, I actually like to read this from Eric Butterworth. He wrote this in his book, Discover the Power Within You. This beatitude suggests the tremendous insight that will be yours when you develop an inward purity of thought. So let's just break that down. When you develop it, it's going to be an ongoing thing that we need to work with. Are we all good with that? There's no magic snap of the fingers that you're automatically and magically there. It's something that we develop. Lift up your eyes and get your thoughts centered on the good, the true, and the beautiful, and you will see God. This requires discipline of thought. Oh my gosh, the D word. This requires discipline of thought, for one does not easily see beauty in ugliness, life in sickness, or abundance in poverty. So just take a moment to let that sink in, because we are here to develop that awareness. We're here to work with that awareness so that at some point we can see the wholeness in sickness, so that we can see the beauty in what we perceive as ugly, so that we can see the abundance in what we are experiencing as poverty. But I'd like to suggest that you don't start there. Because that's our human tendency, right? Is to start with the big things in life, those big ticket items. Let's start with the little things. Last week we had a guest speaker, Dr. James Doty, and he had a wonderful talk. If you weren't here, you can catch it on our website. But he talked about the stickiness of the brain. You remember that? The stickiness of the brain. And our brain is sticky, and it's designed to retain things that we perceive as threats. Now, there aren't too many saber-toothed tigers running around hunting us down anymore. But those threats that we experience in life, even the things that, the small things, right? The things that annoy us. The people who look at us sideways. The people who, say something maybe that my ego doesn't like so much. Those little things are sticky. They stick to us. Because anything the brain perceives as a threat is going to develop, we're going to retain it naturally. So we need to work at letting those go. It's like, you're driving down Highway 5 in the middle of the state here, and you pull off at wherever you're pulling off at, and your windshield is covered with what? What do? You clean them. You get a gold star, Paul. See, I was going to just let them be there and complain about it. I was going to roll down the window and stick my head out because I can't see through the window anymore. No, right away, you clean it. And if we don't clean our consciousness, that's our experience in life. We're seeing through the lens of all of those sticky bugs in our brain. We're seeing through the lens of all of the little things, the nits that just bug us. Huh? That wasn't me, that was Spirit. You can blame Spirit. That wasn't a bad dad joke. I take full credit for those. But if we don't clean our lens, that develops into the enemy. That develops into victim consciousness. That develops into defensiveness. Simply because we haven't taken the time to cleanse our lens, to clean our lens, to allow ourselves to see more clearly. And that's really what this beatitude is all about, is to creating that space where there is a purity in heart, where you have a clean lens, where you can see the world from a new perspective. And we need to retrain our mind to do that on a regular basis. We need to retrain our mind to be able to see beyond the appearances in the moment. Sometimes we go through life and we have a situation, all of a sudden we're at the end of the day tense and stressed and angry. Not you, of course. I'm talking for myself. And then I have to clean my lens. But what if we could do that every moment of the day? What if we can realize, oh, there's a bug in my eye. Let me just wipe it out. Let me just clean it right now. And that's what this is really about. This beatitude is about developing that mindset so we can go through life and be able to drive through Central California and not worry about the bugs. There will be bugs in our life. Yes? Yeah, it just is. It's just how you're going to look at it. So this is an inside-out job, right? We have to clean our lens from the inside so that we can see ourselves clearly, so we can see ourselves as pure in heart, so we can see ourselves as what Rusty talked about, that idea that you are that divine presence, you are that expression of love, you are that divine wisdom being expressed into the world. And so when something comes up in life, we need to deal with it in the moment, or at least that's the goal. So just think about, anybody have anybody in their lives that annoys them? Don't say their name. I know I can see someone's out there nudging the other person. He's talking about you right now. So just notice when, those things are coming up. And can you see beyond those appearances? Can you see beyond the appearances to just know that you're in the flow? And it's okay. See, this is what forgiveness is really all about. It's about clearing that own inner lens of our bugs so that we can see another person clearly, so that we can start to see that divine nature in someone else, regardless of what's happening on the outside. Because we know that that's not the whole of them, even though clearly they're wrong. And I must be right. That's not the whole of them. And when I'm wrong, that's not the whole of me. I am more than that decision. I am more than that word that spurted out. I'm more than that action. I'm more than those thoughts. And when we can understand that moreness within us, then we can see that more clearly in someone else. So can you take and hold a different perspective? That's really what this is about. Can you hold multiple perspectives about an individual out there, for example, and that, yes, in the past they may have done this, and yes, in the present they may be doing this, but there's something more in that person. Can you see something different? Can you see from their point of view? Can you hold that perspective? You may not agree with it, but can you hold a different perspective? Can you understand what they may be going through or their suffering? So this last week I had an experience where somebody from my past was, I was in the midst of a distant past. And it was a feeling of, oh God, here we go. Ever have those feelings? Or is it just me? But immediately, because I've been working on this came to mind. It's like, okay, be pure of heart. This is not who this person is. Whatever that was in the past, whatever is going on in the present, whatever might happen in the future, I simply looked beyond all of that, and I held that person in my heart. I held that person, allowing myself to see through that stickiness. And that enabled me to show up differently. That enabled me to show up in a way that was kind and compassionate. There wasn't really much interaction, but in my heart and in my mind, there was a world of interaction. You know those people? Pretty much everyone in our life, when we think about them, we have a story about them. And sometimes it's a beautiful story, and sometimes it's a painful story. And, I warned them, you don't want to go walking down the dark alleys of my mind. But it's being able to shift those thoughts within us and that dialogue within us just so that we can come to that situation with that openness, with that purity of heart, and to be able to look beyond the appearances. And then look for evidence of source. Look for evidence of source in the daily life. I love, Butterworth, you can think about it. We go outside and we see the beautiful flowers. We see the trees that are just, full canopy right now. And we can go out and meet our friends and have our delicious coffee. Thanks to our hospitality team. We can, greet people. We can say hi to our friends. And we have this experience in life, yeah? Anybody have that? When you're leaving Unity, the talk today, you're going to be doing that today? I'll be taking notes. Who's not sharing? When we can express compassion for another, and really this is what affirmative prayer is all about. It's holding somebody in that state of knowing their oneness. That's it. Because if I can hold you in that when you can't hold yourself in that, I can lift you up. You can lift yourself up. It's that spiritual energy that allows us to commune together, to be together, to help each other and lift each other, so that we can realize that grace is already here. And allow it to flow. Eric Butterworth said, you are not in the world to set it right, but to see it rightly. So how are you seeing the world? Covered with bugs? Or can you cleanse it and see the world from a new perspective? He continued by saying, and right seeing is the passport from illusion to the heaven of accomplishment. The things that we want to do in life, the things that we want to create in life, the life that we want to live is lived by seeing life rightly, by seeing ourselves rightly, by living in it from that perspective. So in his book, Discover the Power Within Me, he had this affirmation: I see the world as it is, I see the world not as it is, but as I am. And I am in spiritual unity with God. I see the world not as it is, but as I am. Now that's a spiritual truth. It is true regardless, because you cannot see the world except through your own lens. So how do you want to show up in life? How do you want to experience that? If you want to change the way you're experiencing life, then clean your lens and develop that purity of heart. Develop that idea within you. And so Neil Douglas Klotz, he wrote the book Prayers of the Cosmos, which I've been using through this as well, through this series. And he takes the Aramaic that Jesus may have spoken and translates it directly into English. What he talks about is this idea of pure in heart can also mean those who are consistent in love. Doesn't that give it a different meaning? Being consistent in love, showing up as love, expressing harmony as love, expressing being in a relationship, being on your job, doing your spreadsheet, doing coding, your financial, I don't know, what else do you do at work? It's been so long. Create sermons, write talks. Yes, thank you. That is a full-time job. His affirmation was, aligned with the one are those whose lives radiate from a core of love, for they shall see God everywhere. Aligned with the one are those whose lives radiate from a core of love, for they shall see God everywhere. Our next beatitude comes right after it, and it's so important because that first beatitude that I just read, blessed are the pure in heart, is so fundamental for us, our experiences in life. It's so important that when you come from life with that perspective, with that discipline, with that practice of whenever the bug hits your windshield, of cleaning it off. When you come from that perspective, it makes this one very easy. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. So first, do you understand that you are a beautiful, wonderful child of God? That you are the expression of Spirit? That you are one with the I am? Do you understand that? Is that something that you can hold with me for a moment, even if you don't agree with it? Right? Unity's second principle, the I am principle, that God is the substance and the intelligence innate in every person and in all creation. So let's just hold that for a moment. So if you are truly one with that source, right, then, and you are a true God and a true child of God in spirit, if that's you, then how does that express through you in life? Because what Butterworth says, I love the way he says this, you are truly one with source, a true child of God in spirit, lowercase s, in theory, in idea, that's what you are. In potentiality, that's what you're here to express. So you're it, and how are you being it? How are you showing up in life? Because you only become that expression, in fact and in expression, when you are attuned to the infinite. When we hold this spiritual mindset that we are one with the Allness. And when we start to express from our noble self, from our higher self, from our better self, whatever word you want to put in there, the self that Dr. Doty talked about, that higher self, where ego can serve, can be of service to it. The way I know that I'm practicing this is really by looking backwards. So this morning, I'd set up a meeting with the board. I have a homework project that's due next week where I'm supposed to bring the board together and run through what's called a genogram experience with the board and then report on it. Well, and I made a little machine, which I'm not going to tell you about because some of you will experience it later at some point, I think. That was the experience machine, to have an experience. So we can go through having an experience, and then we can talk about it in the structure in which we were going to talk about the history of our spiritual community. Well, it was all working at home. I brought it in here, and it broke. It wasn't working. And I'm like, well, I know how to fix it, but I just can't fix it today. And I was thinking to myself, it's okay to be upset. Like, yeah, but it's no big deal. I'll pivot. Yeah, but it's okay to be upset, John. I know, ego. Just chill out. See, I would have been pretty annoyed. I would have been stressed. I would have been frustrated. How can I fix it now? It's like, oh, okay, I'll just let it go. No big whoop. And then this morning, we have our meeting right after the service at 11:30 for an hour, and I get a text from my wife Tiffany saying, by the way, we need to leave at 11:30. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Because I forgot that we are going to see the Book of Mormon this afternoon in the city. I don't know, maybe I'll convert. But you see, here's the thing. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. This last week, we flew to Irvine to see my oldest daughter's thesis art show. It was fantastic. We flew back the next day, where in that evening, Ray did one of her performances, and then yesterday, Ray did her second dance performance for Dance Connection. And Ethan, we had to take over to a party and then pick up from a party because they didn't want to drive, and we're okay with that. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to see Book of Mormon, and it's not on the calendar. And now I have to cancel my meeting with the 3 board members that could make it. Sorry, I didn't get to you in time. I know. Yeah. They were so looking forward to it. Now, before, what kind of stress would I have held? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's not on the calendar. Okay, but it wasn't on the no, back. Okay, but it had to been no, back. No, the answer is just okay. That's how I know that I'm moving in that direction of blessed are the peacemakers, because I'm not ticked off by it. Remember that person that I asked you to think about or encourage you not to point to the other person? So how can you look at that other person in a different way? We're all busy. It's okay. I won't get the assignment done. I won't fail. I know you're all pleased about that. It's okay. So the way we move through these and the way we start to develop this mindset is to become very like a baby, as Frank said, like a child. Just say, oh, okay, that ain't it. What's next? It's to not let it stick to us. It's to clean that lens. Oh, it's sticky. Okay, I'll just clean it. It's no big whoop. And if you start with the small things, then the big thing that occurred earlier in the week for me, the big thing becomes easy. Becomes, wow, I have grown. Can you feel that difference? Can you find something in your life today to just be aware of your thoughts and be aware of how you're reacting to things? And it's not like you have to be the peacemaker. Everyone on this side of the room, you're going to like everyone on that side of the room. It's not that kind of bridge. It's creating that peace within me so that I can show up peacefully. So that I can show up. And when I can show up peacefully, then I can help others show up peacefully. So blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons and daughters, children of God. Eric Butterworth likes to look at this particular beatitude as if it's like turning on a light. The light doesn't have to go in and say, okay, shoo darkness, everyone out, shoo. The light just shines and the darkness recedes. That's all we need to worry about, is keeping that light within us on. Working on this beatitude and helping us build that consciousness so that we may take our place in the world as bringers of light rather than purveyors of darkness. So let's move to our affirmation, Felix. I'm going to read this a couple of times just to allow you to digest it and absorb it. And then I'll invite you to affirm it with me as we express it fully from within us. I am consciously in unity with the Allness. And if Allness isn't a word that you like, use another word. I am a radiating center of peace and love. I am consciously in unity with the Allness. I am a radiating center of peace and love. Together, I am consciously in unity with the Allness. I am a radiating center of peace and love. And so it is. As we plant peace, we begin to become the channels, the fountains for that energy. When we live from love, we become the love that others can see in themselves. Let's take this into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I'll invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and close your eyes or soften your gaze if that's more comfortable for you. And allow yourself to begin to relax into this present moment. As we breathe into this present moment, we can scan our thoughts and see if there's any stress or strain in our thoughts. Scan our emotions and allow our emotions just to release and relax. If we don't give them any story or any fuel, they will just move through us easily and effortlessly. As we breathe, we can scan our body and see where we are holding the stress. Bless that area. Put our attention in our feet and feel the earth beneath us. Feel gravity grounding us in this present moment. With each breath, we breathe in love. We breathe out joy. With each breath, we breathe in peace. We breathe out gratefulness. As we allow that energy of grace to move in, through, and as us, that harmonizing energy of love that flows through our mind, body, and spirit, the peaceful, centered aspect of our mind at rest. We are one with the Allness. As we breathe into the stillness of the silence. in this consciousness of oneness, realizing our wholeness spiritually, we affirm, I am one with the infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom. In unity with God, I am a peaceful presence in the world. I am the expression of joy, compassion, understanding, wisdom. For I am one with the infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom. One with the allness of life. As we express this consciousness in our lives, within ourselves, we become that light that shines in the world. The darkness naturally recedes. We clean our lens at every opportunity so that our light can shine more fully, more brightly, and so that we can see the world through the lens of the divine. And through this same consciousness, we hold all of those who we hold in our hearts and prayers, seeing that divine essence within them, that grace within them. For all of the prayers in our prayer chest that have come in person or online, all of the prayers in our hearts, we hold each person in our heart, affirming divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. We hold the same prayer for all of our world, national, state, and local leaders, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for peace on earth, goodwill, equality, and justice for all people. And for this time together, for this great celebration of our spiritual community, our oneness with the allness of life, let us give thanks and celebrate by singing the Alleluia.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
And with that joy and that love in our hearts, let us return our attention to this time and this space and just allow that experience of grace flowing naturally through you with ease, with confidence, with strength. Just allow it to flow through you today. I would like to ask our prayer chaplains who are serving today, would you please stand? If you are in need of prayer after the service, our prayer chaplains are here to lovingly listen in confidence, to hold sacred space, and to affirmatively pray with you after the service. And you can find them right here in their sanctuary where they're standing. Thank you so much for serving us in this way. You can also receive prayer requests, prayer chaplain here before the service at 9:30 in the Fireside Room Library. Our prayer chaplain, Sarah Ann, is here in the mornings before the service, so you can join her there for prayers as well. And for all of those prayers in our hearts and that love in our hearts, we give thanks for each other, for our spiritual community here. We are here because of your generous donations, and your generous donations help us to live our purpose statement of transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. However you'd like to support us, there are many ways in which you can support us. If you're here in the sanctuary and you'd like to make a donation, there's a silver box in the back of the sanctuary that says Love Offerings. You can place your donation in there. You can make a donation online. But however you want to give to the spiritual community, give with love. For it's the manner in which we give to the world that we receive from the world. And when we give with love, we receive love tenfold. So with that joy in our hearts, our affirmation is on the screen, and I invite you to affirm it with me together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
Waking up in the light of a shining new day, giving thanks to the moon for guiding my way. There is no greater gift to the soul that each breath in my body can hold. So great Spirit, hear my voice today. Welcome, magic, welcome, sweet sun ray. Love is no secret, look all around you. Welcome to this day. Life is simple and clear. When you make the right choice, it's true that you're here. When you find your own voice, oh my brothers and sisters, believe you are just what you are meant to be. So great Spirit, hear my voice today. Welcome, magic, welcome, sweet sun ray. Look all around you, love surrounds you. Welcome to this day. Now welcome, magic, welcome, sweet sun ray. Love is no secret, look all around you, and welcome to this day. Welcome to this day. Welcome to this day. Yeah.
What a blessing that we all have this opportunity to come together and share this inspiration of wonderful music, an inspiring message, and the connection and shared energy that we all have together. It doesn't end here on Sundays, though. As you know, we have many of other opportunities to connect and participate in this wonderful community that is Unity Palo Alto. The first announcement I have about doing that actually is an opportunity that unfortunately we're not going to have. We were working on a class of Meeting Myself in the Bible, which unfortunately is going to be canceled, but it's a super cool class about understanding the metaphysical interpretation of the Bible, so we're hoping to get that rescheduled another time. Also wanted to share with you that the Board of Trustees meets every month. And the next meeting is coming up on the third Monday of this month, which is the 19th, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. And you are all invited. We meet here in the Learning Center and also on Zoom. And you are invited. There's an opportunity for everyone to, if you show up, there's an opportunity to share and participate as well as see what's going on from the administrative side of the community. Also wanted to share that also on a monthly basis, the fourth Sunday of the month is the Bring Your Own Lunch Brunch. And so that is, this is the second Sunday, so 2 weeks from today, you can participate in that. It's right here in the courtyard. It's a great way to get to know other people. It's facilitated with some prompts and some questions and some rotating conversations, so you get to meet other people here in the community. If you'd like to be notified of that, you can text in the word lunch to our text number, which should be on the cards in the pews in the back of the pews. So hopefully there's still some there. Some of them have been going away, so we need to replenish those. But nonetheless, you can text in the word lunch, and you'll get a reminder for that to bring your lunch. Also, the last thing I wanted to share with you is it is pick-a-party season. We successfully have a list of more than 20 different party ideas and party opportunities for you to participate in. So if you go to unitypaloalto.org/party, You can click right there, and there's a list of all of the parties that are going on. They're basically starting this month, and they're going mostly through the fall, although there is one that's parked into next year. And so you just look through the list, see something that looks cool, buy a ticket, and you're in. Lots of opportunities, great way to have fun and connect with other people and just have some new experiences. So you're all invited, and we hope you can participate. It is the second Sunday of the month, and as the second Sunday of the month, it is our Sharing Abundance time. And we every month we donate a portion of the income that we receive from your generous donations to support an organization that does support work here in the community. And this month we are supporting CARA, which is a grief counseling service, and we have a video, and let's see if we can get that to run.
So this is really a transformational place. What camp does is it teaches the kids to pull apart the pieces, to understand their grief, to not be afraid of it, and to feel that it's normal.
We bring a bunch of kids together who have experienced the death of someone really significant in their lives. It feels actually just as much as like a celebration of that person's life that was so important to that child, and a celebration of the child's life right now.
I love the energy that it has, how everybody is so nice and inviting, and you are surrounded with so many supportive campers and counselors here and staff. You could just come here, have fun, it's just hanging out with people who really understand what you're going through.
They teach you to handle your anger, your emotions, your feelings in a way that doesn't hurt you or others. And I find that really helpful because after my dad's death, I got really angry, really sad, and I really didn't know how to process it.
We're asking the kids to walk towards some of the hardest, darkest places in their psyche, their feelings, their memories. And in order to do that, you have to have a place that's beautiful, and you have to intersperse it with really fun activities and really good friends and laughter.
Some things I enjoy about camp is just being around kids who are dealing with the same things as me, and it just really helps to be around people who understand what you're going through and who can help you heal.
Because I've been talking to so many people that are new to me and hearing their stories, I've learned to become a better listener and try to not compare stories, but try to understand how people are feeling instead. That way I can support them in the way they need.
What I learned is that I have lost someone that is grieving. We're trying to cope with it, and we're supporting each other and helping each other through the process, just one day at a time.
Some of my counseling colleagues are with the 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds. The things that they're teaching those 7-year-olds today are going to be alive in them when they're 40, 50 years old, because they're placing deeply within them the basic foundations of good emotional health. How could anything be more meaningful than that?
I like how you get to be with other people and bond with them, and it feels like your emotions are okay here because other people have been through what have you gone through. It's like okay to be sad, you know?
I think that some of the tools the kids get to go back home with are an ability to cope with some big varying range of emotions, from knowing what sad feels like, happy, angry, guilty.
I need to just be okay with all those feelings, and I think that will help me become a stronger person overall, because then I'll be more in control of my emotions and I will be able to help other people if I need to, or just help myself.
Whatever emotions I'm feeling, it's okay, because everybody has their own grieving process that they go through when they lose somebody. If you're feeling sad, angry, or even happy, that's okay because it's your own emotions.
I'd say that everything I've learned here at camp I can use in my daily life. They taught me how to process it, how to deal with it, and how I can kind of feel like I have a normal way of life again.
This is a great way to help kids, like everybody out there that has lost someone.
So our donation goes directly to supporting this Camp Cara, which is about 100 children from ages 6 to 17 and supported by 50 different volunteers. So it's a wonderful, as you can see, a wonderful opportunity. So let's take an opportunity to bless Cara. I don't know if we have a blessing that we can put on the screen here or not, but we will use our standard blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the light in you. And so it is. And now I invite you to stand and join me in singing our Song of Peace.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God ever greater, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week.
This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine. Oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, come on, this little light of mine. Oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, let it shine.